As the New World Order continues to expand, with the addition of Six, aka 123 Kid, and later known as X-Pac, World Championship Wrestling is spiraling out of control, and in desperate need of a reunification. With the World Heavyweight title already in the NWO's possession, the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, look to deliver a knockout blow by taking the World Tag Team Championships from Harlem Heat. With WCW mainstays, Ric Flair, out recuperating from injury, forcing him to vacate the United States Championship, and Sting on a prolonged hiatus, leaves the Macho Man Randy Savage as seemingly the last hope for WCW as he challenges Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the title. The Horsemen and Kevin Sullivan's Dungeon of Doom had vowed to work together to combat the NWO, but appear to still be at odds as Lex Luger faces Arn Anderson, Steve McMichael and Chris Benoit take on the faces of Fear, Barbarian and Meng, while New Horseman associate, Jeff Jarrett, takes on the NWO's Giant. Meanwhile, the Cruiserweight division begins to heat up with the newest member of the NWO, Six vs Chris Jericho. Dean Malenko seeks to regain the Cruiserweight title from Rey Mysterio Jr. in a return match, plus, Diamond Dallas Page takes on Eddie Guerrero, as we take a look at the 8th annual WCW Halloween Havoc. It opens with a match between Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio Jr. for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Dean tries to use a Texas cloverleaf on Rey, but Rey blocks it. They exchange moves until Rey successfully uses a head scissors and regains his stolen mask and switches it. Dean then gains control with a side slam and targets Rey's leg and back. He uses various holds, backbreakers, and a sleeper. The fight goes outside, where Dean kicks Rey low. Rey makes several pin attempts, but Dean counters with clotheslines and suplexes. Rey fights back with a springboard corkscrew and a Hurricane Rana, but Dean responds with a powerbomb. Rey attempts a Super Frankensteiner, but Dean counters it into a superbomb for the win to regain the title. Diamond Dallas Page takes on Eddie Guerrero in the next match. Eddie and DDP brawl both in the ring and on the floor. Eddie uses various moves like arm drags and headlocks, while DDP gets caught in the ropes. After several exchanges, DDP retaliates by sending Eddie to the guardrail and attempting a pin with his feet on the ropes, but the referee catches him. DDP then focuses on Eddie's midsection with gutbusters and a side slam, leading to an argument with the ref. Eddie makes a comeback with quick pin attempts and drop kicks. Despite a strong effort from Eddie, DDP ultimately wins with a diamond cutter. DDP celebrates and finds the Battle Bowl ring, claiming he is still Lord of the Ring. The Giant represents the NWO in the next contest against Jeff Jarrett for the Horsemen. Jarrett avoids the Giant and throws punches but struggles as the Giant gains control, using various moves like boots and backbreakers. Jarrett attempts sleeper holds and dropkicks but fails to slam the Giant. After several missed attacks, the Giant pushes Jarrett out of the ring. Jarrett puts the Giant in a figure 4 outside, but the Giant counters by grabbing him. Ric Flair intervenes with a low blow, prompting Nick Patrick to call for the bell. The Horsemen arrive, challenging the Giant, who leaves while threatening that their day will come. The next bout, again features 2 cruiserweights, in the NWO Six and Chris Jericho. The wrestlers trade moves, including holds, chops, and kicks. Jericho is in control until Six dropkicks him out of the ring, follows with a somersault plancha, and knocks Jericho into the rail. Six pretends to smoke a cigarette and performs a diving elbow onto the apron. Jericho fights back with a springboard crossbody and a flying back elbow, but Six responds with a hot shot and dropkicks him. Jericho lands a lionsault in a springboard crossbody, but referee Nick Patrick is slow to count, leading to Jericho arguing with him. This distraction allows Six to hit a spinning heel kick, leading to his win. Jericho confronts Nick Patrick after the match, while the commentators discuss the count, and Jericho chases Nick out of the ring as he leaves with Six. The total package Lex Luger takes on former Four Horsemen ally, Arn Anderson next. Arn punches Lex and mocks his flexing while focusing on his ribs. Lex retaliates with a slam and a clothesline, then attacks Arn's back by ramming him into a post, before performing a power slam. He also delivers a backbreaker to Arn before hitting him with forearms and kicks. However, Arn comes back with a spinebuster. Arn then injures Lex by slamming him into the apron, post, and rail, and attempts an abdominal stretch. Lex blocks a DDT, which sends Arn into the referee. Arn grabs a chair, but Lex avoids it, stops a pile driver, and catapults Arn into the post. Lex then suplexes Arn on the floor and hits his back with the chair before putting him in the torture rack for a submission. Afterward, Luger continues to attack despite cheers from the Dungeon of Doom and poses on the turnbuckles as a stretcher is called for Arn. In match number 6, the Dungeon of Doom's Faces of Fear, Barbarian and Meng, take on the Horsemen's Chris Benoit and Steve Mongo McMichael. Meng and McMichael start with shoulder blocks, with McMichael getting the upper hand. The Barbarian and Benoit exchange strikes and suplex tries. Meng and McMichael engage in a sumo battle, where Meng delivers chops and Mongo counters with chop blocks. The Faces of Fear double-team McMichael, while he struggles with dropkicks and Meng misses a move. Benoit returns but gets hit with a powerbomb and the Faces of Fear continue to weaken him through strikes and chokes. The Barbarian executes a super belly-to-belly, and they perform a combo move. Mongo saves Benoit and hits Meng with a briefcase, allowing Benoit to win with a flying headbutt. Afterward, Barbarian attacks Mongo with the case. Sullivan, Bubba, and Conan interfere, attacking Benoit and McMichael. They overpower Benoit and Mongo because the other horsemen are at the hospital with Arn Anderson. Sullivan and Jimmy Hart confront Woman, hinting at even more tensions between the two groups. The NWO Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, challenge Harlem Heat for the World Tag Team Championship in the next bout, to further its hostile takeover. Booker T and Hall fight back and forth until Booker T takes Hall down. Stevie Ray and Sherry try to help Booker, but Hall retaliates by spitting on Stevie and tagging Nash. Nash and Stevie exchange strikes, and Sherry distracts Nash, allowing Booker T to deliver an axe kick. Harlem Heat performs a double team on Nash, but he counters with a slam and tags Hall. Hall hits Booker T with a bulldog, while Nash attacks from behind. They execute a double move, but Sherry distracts Hall, giving Booker a chance to kick him. They struggle in sleeper holds until both collide. Booker T tags Stevie Ray, who takes control and hits Hall, followed by a kick from Booker. Although Booker covers Hall, Nash enters to interfere. Colonel Parker tries to help but gets scared off. Nash uses Parker's cane to knock out Hall, allowing them to win. Sherry argues with the confused referee, as the commentators express disbelief at Hall and Nash being champions. The Outsiders celebrate their victory, and Kevin announces their takeover is almost complete. Macho Man Randy Savage looks to secure the WCW World Heavyweight Championship from Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the New World Order in the main event. The Giant is removed from ringside by a referee, Randy Anderson, before the match begins. Hogan tries to avoid fighting by stalling and hiding in the ropes, but eventually engages Savage with various moves, including a headlock and kicks. Savage retaliates with a flying axe handle, takes Hogan's sunglasses, and puts the hairpiece on his own head. The fight goes to the floor where Savage puts the hairpiece in Hogan's mouth. They exchange chair shots while the referee struggles to maintain control. Hogan gains the upper hand by using the rail and kissing Savage's head, leading to Miss Elizabeth distracting Hogan. Savage gets a quick roll-up, but Hogan then uses Elizabeth as a shield. Hogan accidentally hits the referee, prompting Nick Patrick to take over. Savage lands a flying elbow, but Patrick pretends to be hurt, preventing the count. Eventually, both DiBiase and the Giant interfere. The Giant chokeslams Savage, allowing Hogan to cover him for the win. Afterward, Hogan celebrates, declaring himself the real king of Hollywood and vowing to take over WCW. Suddenly, bagpipe music plays and Rowdy Roddy Piper appears, shocking Hogan and the commentators. Piper enters the ring and calls out the Giant. Piper greets Hogan and states that he's there to shake things up for him. Hogan tries to clarify his past comments, but Piper dismisses him. Piper declares he doesn't represent anyone but can be difficult when needed. Hogan warns him to be cautious. Piper claims he is just as much of an icon and star as Hogan, sharing his history. Hogan admits they were rivals but agrees that Piper is also a star. Piper reminds Hogan of their match at WrestleMania and insists Hogan never beat him. He asks Hogan to acknowledge the fans' role in his success. Hogan concedes that Piper is on equal standing and shakes his hand. After Piper leaves the ring, Hogan mocks his skirt, which angers Piper, leading him to return. Hogan suggests they settle things in another match, stating that Piper's time will come. Hogan leaves but returns after Piper points out he forgot his belt, and they continue their conversation. As Dean Malenko regained the title, the cruiserweight division continued to grow, and WCW welcomed the entrance of such sensations as J Crown Champion, Ultimo Dragon, and Psychosis. Jeff Jarrett persisted in proving his worth as a horseman by continuing to feud with the Giant. The next WCW pay-per-view, World War III, featured the second 60-man battle royal to determine the next World Championship contender, as the New World Order carried its dominance into 1997. The long-awaited rematch between Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper would take place the following December at WCW's annual Starrcade.